So Toluwase Oladapo is a graduating communications major in arts and sciences. During her time at BC, she has enjoyed roles as the African Student Organization president, starred in plays such as For Colored Girls, and also embraced this thing called life. Please give it up for our second speaker, Tolu.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of you coming today. I'd like to thank you, and I'd also like to thank God, because without him, I am nothing. And I always remember, I used to ask God all the time, why me? Of all issues that I can face, why does it have to be weight? I can do anything else, but the weight thing, it's really annoying. But seeing all of you here today, I finally have my answer. So the summer before I came to Boston College, I lost 70 pounds. 70 whopping pounds. This was a big deal for me. I thought my life was gonna be so much better. How did I lose it? I ran a lot. Like every day, up and down the stairs in my high school, I was running. And I put myself on a very strict diet in which I cannot ever do again. Why did I do it? I had 3 reasons, and I know this because I wrote them down. I wanted to feel desired. You know, we're in high school, everybody's going to prom, and there's a certain mold in society that you have to fit in. And if you don't, you probably don't feel very beautiful. On top of that, I just didn't want to shop in the plus size section anymore. I don't know if you guys ever been to Forever 21, but there's a dark and dingy corner, and that is the plus size section. Actually, the Forever 21 on Newbury Street doesn't even have a plus size section, which is kind of reflective of the way in which we are treated. Plus size clothes tend to be more expensive, and they don't have that many styles. And I love to dress up, so it's not kind of wonderful for me that I can't always wear what I want to wear. On top of that, even privileges such as shopping with friends, and people invite you to go shopping and assume that you're going to find your size in the store that they want to go to, but probably not. On top of that, we have people like Tommy Hilfiger, companies like Hollister, Lululemon, saying that we don't have clothes for plus size people because we want to be cool. And when these comments come out in society, everyone backlashes and says, this is obscene, this is crazy, how can this go on in the 21st century in 2016? But it has been going on since the beginning of time, and it's been going on every single day, and it's an experience that I live all the time. And just the fact that these CEOs were bold enough to say and admit it doesn't mean it hasn't been happening. Another reason why I wanted to lose weight is because I just didn't want to be bullied or verbally abused anymore. Ever since I was young, I was bullied. Cyberbullied, taunted, made fun of, or even had adults who meant well make certain rude and blunt comments at me that were very hurtful. I remember one time in high school, I asked this bully, his name was Ryan. Ryan, if you're watching, this one's for you, buddy. I love you though, because I can forgive. I asked Ryan, like, what did I do to you? Like, why are you so angry with me all the time? Why do you always have to make fun of me? And he said, you know what, Tolu? It's not that I don't like you. I just don't like the way you act. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you're so loud and you're so bold. It really pisses me off. There was another plus-size girl in the class, and he said, you know, if you were quiet like her, sat in your own little cave and didn't talk to anyone or look at anyone, I wouldn't make fun of you. And it's at that point that I realized that Ryan was intimidated by the fact that I did not fit into the personality that he wanted me to fit in. Because I was plus size and I didn't have low confidence or low self-esteem, that angered him. It irritated him that I didn't want to conform. The fact that people were going to punish me for being myself was very frustrating. So I thought, you know what? After enough times of being called precious, a fat bee, being told to have the body of a Coke can, Respucia, ugly, or that you're pretty, but you know, if you lose a little weight, you'd look better. Oh, Tolu, she's very pretty, but if she lost weight, her life would be a little better, she'd look better. I realized that, you know what, maybe my life would be easier if I had just lost weight and conformed. I thought I'd be way more confident, life would be perfect, and I would just be happy, go lucky all the time. But I was wrong. Let's look at some statistics. The weight loss industry is a $20 billion industry. 108 million people are on a diet. 85% of them are women, and 95% of the people that lose weight eventually gain it back. This is me, the famous or infamous plus size picture, or before and after picture that I put up the summer before I came to Boston College. This picture is still on my Facebook. You can check it out. I received over 600 likes, 30 shares. I had people in my inbox asking me, Tolu, how did you do it? There was even a personal trainer who actually pretended that he trained me and put it up as if he did. And I was like, you're crazy, but I'm flattered, okay? And I actually had people commenting under my picture saying that this was Photoshop and this was fake. And I was like, once again, you're crazy, but I'm flattered because the fact that I lost this amount of weight was so unreal to you that you thought it was fake. I was really excited. So once again, I thought my life was gonna be so much better. Perfection here on out. Boy, was I wrong. So if you remember, I had 3 reasons for losing weight. I wanted to be more desirable. You know, at this point, yes, people were telling me that I was pretty and I looked better. Did I necessarily have the specific responses that I wanted? Did I really feel desirable inside? No. I lost weight because I wanted to not shop in the plus size section anymore. Guess what? I lost 70 pounds, but because of my build and my frame, I was still in the plus size section. Now, how frustrating was that? Because I actually promised myself that before I come to Boston College, I was gonna take myself on a shopping spree and wear normal clothes. So I get to Forever 21, I start off in the normal section. After a couple times in the fitting room, I was like, all right, I went back to the plus size section. And can you imagine how frustrating that would be that you lost 70 pounds, but you were still in the plus size section? It kind of says something about, what does plus size really mean? If I could lose almost like, 1/4 of my body weight and I'm still plus size? Another reason I lost weight was so I could stop being bullied, verbally abused, and pretty much just satisfy people. And believe it or not, I had lost 70 pounds and people were still telling me, Tolu, you could stand to lose a little more weight, 20 to 40 pounds, just so you'd be perfect, your stomach would be flatter. And the way in which I lost weight was a very strenuous process. So I had thought I reached a plateau and there's really no way I was going to lose any more weight. So the fact that you were telling me that I should still lose more weight was very frustrating. So what happened? I came to Boston College, and within the first 2 years, probably within the first year, I had gained all of the weight back, 70 pounds in less than 2 years, and I had gained more of it back. And I didn't realize why until I actually had to write a paper in my sociology class. And during the paper, I realized that I had gained the weight back because the reasons in which I wanted to lose weight in the first place, the surface level reasons and goals didn't necessarily come to pass. So I subconsciously decided that, I could have that extra donut, maybe stop going to the gym, because guess what? I'm still in the plus size section, I'm still not desirable, and people are still gonna talk about me no matter what, so why not just do what I want? Jane Ogden of Fat Chance, she wrote a book called Fat Chance, The Myth of Dieting Explained. She said, why do so many people spend their life dieting? Would life really be wonderful if only you were thinner? Jane Ogden investigates the myths behind dieting and how they're created and perpetuated by an ever-growing dieting industry. She encourages being freed from guilt, self-dislike, and failure, which are central to the dieter's world. So after doing some research, I found there was actually a psychologist who was very frustrated with the fact that 95% of people gain weight after losing it. So he conducted a study. He conducted a study on actually patients that were undergoing weight loss surgery. And what he wanted to do was pretty much figure out the emotional reasons why they had gained the weight in the first place, so they wouldn't regain it again. So what happened is that one important part of the pre-surgical mental health evaluation is to assess what, if any, emotional factors may be related to a patient's eating behavior. In this way, appropriate interventions may be designed to facilitate their long-term maintenance of the weight loss. The current investigation examined the role that negative emotional states might play in increased pre-surgical eating behavior in a sample of weight loss surgery patients. So his sample size was 122 female patients that completed the weight and lifestyle inventory as a component of the comprehensive psychological evaluation. The questionnaire contained 6 items that assessed the degree of 6 negative mental states. He found the majority of the patients had eating habits that were connected to negative emotional states. Therefore, he realized that by increasing the likelihood of long-term maintenance of weight loss, a significant portion of this population would benefit from interventions prior to the weight loss surgery in order to overcome the issues first. So I realized that this article actually resonated with me and my personal study a lot, because prior to losing weight, I never focused on tackling any sort of emotional conditions, because I assumed that my life would be perfect and completely transformed once I lost weight. Eventually, I found out that my outer appearance really could not fix my internal self. Although I did not undergo weight loss surgery as this study, my weight loss effort was definitely nullified due to the weight gain. After much reflection, I realized that I had never maintained my weight loss because the factors that influenced my eating patterns were still present after my transition. To illustrate, depression was one of the top emotional conditions that Walfish studied, implying that many patients dealt with depression before and after the surgery. This means that, contrary to popular belief, the quality of one's mental state is not necessarily improved after weight loss. If there were severe issues present prior to weight loss, they will likely persist afterwards. Therefore, if there are ways that we can avoid this, we should. So pretty much what I suffered from was destination syndrome. The idea that I'll be happy when I lose weight, I'll be happy when I can fit into these clothes, I'll be happy when I get a man, I'll be happy when I graduate, when I get married, when I have kids, I'll be happy then. We're constantly living in the future, and when we get to the future, we're living in the future again. How many of you said, you know what, if I can just get to Boston College, my life will be perfect? We're here. Is your life perfect? I don't know about that, honey. So we really need to stop doing that. And I know a lot of you are probably sitting there like, great talk, Tolu, wonderful. But I'm not fat, so how does that affect me? But I want to let you know that that's absolutely not true. Yes, I wear my burden publicly. Yes, you can see what I deal with on an everyday basis, but it does not mean that you don't have a burden that people can't see. It does not mean that you don't cry yourself to sleep at night and have worries just like everyone else. Boston College has one of the highest rates of eating disorders in America. Your issue might not be overeating. It might be binge eating, it might be forcing yourself to throw up, it might be guilt tripping yourself every time you pick up an extra fry. It does not make it even less of an issue than something else, no matter what society makes of it. We are all believing a lie these days that once I get to a certain destination, my life will be perfect. And take it from me, I had lost 70 pounds, more than 1/4 of my body weight, and I was still not happy. So we have to stop embracing the lie, and we have to start embracing the now. Tyra Banks always used to do something on her show, which I hated. She always used to have plus-size people on her show, or people who didn't love their bodies, and she would say, well, first things first, you have to love yourself, love your flaws, look at yourself in the mirror and love yourself. And I'm like, Tyra Banks, that's preposterous. If I'm telling you I don't like my size, how can I love my size? And I realized that she was absolutely right. If you don't start in the now, you can never, ever, ever hate yourself to loving yourself. That's not the way it works. Even if you reach your destination, you're going to be disappointed when you get there. 40,000 people commit suicide every year, and I can assure you that not all of them are overweight. So the idea that overweight people are the only ones going through issues is absolutely not true. Now, how could we work on self-love? How can we do this? How can we embrace the now? Do what Tyra Banks said to do. Lately, I've been on a self-love journey. It's a journey because happiness is not a destination. And I've been looking in the mirror. If you have a full-length mirror, look in the mirror and literally look at yourself, eye contact, and say, I love myself. I say, Tolu, you are beautiful. Tolu, you are God's creation. Tolu, you are God's beloved daughter, and he is well pleased with you. You're excellent, you are brilliant. And I honestly can't tell you that I believe all of those things 100% right now, but the fact that I'm consistent in that journey, I'm confident that it will get better. And that is the power. The power is in consistency. The power is in effort. The power is in rejecting all the things that society has forced you to internalize. So in addition to doing the mirror thing, I also do flashcards, index cards. And every morning and night, I try to write positive affirmations on them. So today, I took the liberty of getting a bunch of flashcards, and I'm just gonna, tell you guys to pass them around. And I hope that you guys have learned a lot from this talk. And if the least you can do for me is just write a positive affirmation on it and go home, look in the mirror, and affirm yourself. Because the truth about it is that the before and after narrative is not black and white. And if you start loving yourself before, the after will come. Thank you.